And then finally it was time to get out on court. And they put me on court 7 or 8, which was a small court, but like a big stand. There could be a few people. And I remember like having my headphones in and like walking onto court, and like the people were so loud cheering that I couldn't even like hear the music. Like I was like, and my legs didn't want to walk. I had to tell myself like left, right, just relax. It's all good. Like they're all here for you. Enjoy this moment, you know, this is what you've worked for. And like, this is like, but it's just so tough. You've got so many emotions, you know, like my heart was racing and I was like, oh my God. And then stepped out on court and Ilya Marchenko was like looking at me. He's like, too loud or? Run it.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Going Pro. And it's been a big week for us. This is our third podcast with a professional player who's down in Adelaide for the Playford International. And we have Omar Jasika today. I met you maybe a couple years ago when you were just starting to get the wheels in motion of playing again.
Yeah.
You were maybe a little bit pudgy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I
was a bit of a bowling ball.
Yeah, you were rolling around those courts. You were having a good time, but then, you started to really flick that switch to get serious again. And what you've done in the last couple of years has really shown that you're starting to really progress. So you have a current ranking of 273 in the world. You've had a career high of 217, and that was at quite a young age, right?
Yes. 18 or 19?
Yeah, wow. And then, huge achievement as a junior. You won US Open Juniors, which was crazy, which I want to get stuck into. But thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, I want to talk about your junior career first and foremost. So were you always a top junior in Australia? Kind of when did things start to get really serious for you in your junior career, when you start to realize, like, hang on a minute, I'm actually like around the mark here and playing some pretty high level tennis in Australia?
Yeah. Well, I didn't play too many junior tournaments, to be honest. Because obviously that required you had to travel and play all year round, so I didn't really play too many juniors. But I think we travelled as a team. There was probably like 3 or 4 of us, similar age, like me, Mark Polmans, Jake Delaney. Yeah. There was one more guy, but he doesn't play anymore. So we all travelled as a little group. And then we just started playing those grade A junior tournaments and all that stuff, and started picking up points slowly. But like every time we went overseas, like these guys would tear us apart because it was so good. It like really opened up our eyes, like how good these European guys are, and especially going to the clay as an Aussie is like, you know, it's not really our favourite surface. But every time we went over there, it was actually a bit of an eye opener. So every time we came home, it would make us train even harder, and then we would go back, and then we'd come back, and then go back. So didn't play too many junior tournaments, but I played a few of the slams. Actually, I've played all of the Grand Slams: Australian Open Juniors, French Open Juniors, Wimbledon Juniors, and US Open. Yeah. And obviously the best one I did was the US Open, which was my last ever junior tournament, I told myself. So it was actually really nice to finish on a high note, winning the singles and doubles. It was the week of my life. So that's a bit of my junior.
Let's go straight into it, my man.
Let's do it.
Let's get stuck in. Tell us, give us, paint a picture of that week, how that unfolded. Why do you think that kind of unfolded that way? The experience, the emotions, how you came back after something like that too.
Well, leading up to that, I was mixing the juniors in with a few future tournaments. So I was sort of playing high level, and I was playing juniors. And me and my coach decided that my game was ready to step up to the futures, and US Open was going to be my last ever junior tournament. And I was playing pretty good tennis, but all year it was sort of up and down for me. Not really, not too many good results. But leading into that week, I was pretty relaxed, and obviously think anything to it. And there was the players that were in that tournament are like the high players now. Like you had Zverev, you had Rublev, you had TFO, like all these big dogs there, you know. So, and Fritz and all those boys. But going into that tournament, didn't really have any high expectations. And Played my first round. I can't really remember who it was. And then I played Jared Donaldson. He was top 100 for a little bit. Played him second round, and then played someone in the third round. I was down match points, and then as the tournament went on, I sort of felt a bit more confident, and I was winning the doubles as well. And yeah, just kept pushing, and then in my semi-final, I actually played a German guy, Jan Chowinski, which plays for Britain now, I think. Do you know him?
No, I don't.
Yep. So anyways, he pulled out against me after the first set due to heat because it was super hot that week, super hot. So he let me rest a little bit for the final. And then me and the Japanese guy that's actually here, Naoki Nakagawa, we won the doubles titles together. So yeah, and then won the singles and doubles that week, and that was just like extraordinary for me. Like it was just a big week. There was so much going on, and I was so young, so I was just thrown in the mix of it. I went from entering that tournament at 34 junior in the world, and I came out at 6 junior in the world. So obviously those are quite a lot of points for me to win, and finished my junior career at number 6 in the world, which I'm pretty stoked with.
That's crazy, man. Today's podcast sponsor is Electric Road Agency, who were formerly 4RT. Now, if you want a team of strategists, designers, producers, creators who drive stories to tell your advertising and marketing needs, these guys are the best in the business. They've been extremely influential for us at ATA. They've driven our media game forward to new levels that we never knew that were possible. And they've done it with countless brands, big, small, it doesn't matter what the size, they just love telling your story. So they specialize in health, wellness, fitness, tourism, construction, and they are just the best in the business in creating adaptive solutions to find how to tell your brand or how to discover your brand and tell that story. So highly, highly, highly recommend these guys. And if you want to get in touch, please go on electricroad.au or search the Instagram handle Electric Road Agency, and they will answer your email, your call, your DM, and they'll be in touch and they'll be able to tell your story very well. What was that final like? Did you have a big crowd? What was the kind of like experience of in that final match and then the feeling when you won?
Yeah. Yeah, like there was so much going on. It's just like, it's tough to really remember bits. It's just like bits I remember, but
Almost like a blur.
Yeah, it's just almost like a blur. But I played Quentin Halle's, a French guy.
Yeah.
He's about 50 in the world now, or 60. He was up a set. I was super nervous. I remember that. He was up a set and 5-4 serving. So he was serving for the match.
No way.
And he got so tight, like just tight as a drum. And I broke him, and then you could just see the momentum change a little bit. Won the second set 7-5. And then the third set, I think he was just super nervous, and I don't know what happened. He just sort of rolled over a little bit, and I won the third 6-2, I believe. And I just gained another gear in that third set because I just felt like it was like another chance at this match, being it down a set and break. And yeah, I was just all over the third. And yeah, the night before I won the doubles final.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a big high all week.
Amazing. Has anyone done that before? Singles and doubles US Open?
I think someone did, but it was like 34 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was quite a big.
Who cares about them?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten about them.
I actually don't even know who it was.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
who it was.
All I know is Omar won it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So like, were you getting coverage that week? Were people starting to like know who you were and were you getting traction from media? And was that the first time of that happening?
Yeah. So what happened was after I've won, I had the morning show message me saying that they're in New York and they want to do an interview the next morning.
As in the Australian morning show?
Yes, Australian morning show.
Yeah.
So I thought I would agree to it and do it. But I didn't know what was going on. Like there was just so much happening, and but they were doing it at like 6 a.m., 7 o'clock in the morning because there was the time difference and all that stuff. So they wanted to time it. So I went and did that, which was epic. It was so awesome to do that at such a young age. And I can't really remember what I said. I'm pretty sure it was pretty bad for me. Just so nervous. Like the first time I've ever done that, so. But it was a good experience, It was
tighter than Halle's serving for the match.
Yeah. But yeah, then obviously I've gained a lot of traction out of that, and obviously I had people reach out to me and started working with a few little brands. And yeah, it was awesome for me.
Did that get to your head at that time? Because it's so hard at that age when something like that happens to not let it get to your head and just stay humble and grounded and just keep getting to work and not think you're God's gift.
Yeah, I mean, it is super hard because like you know what's going on, but you also like, because I think the media obviously just like pump you up as well. So it's just like hard to like, you don't realize it at the time, but looking back on it, I was like, fuck, excuse my language.
No,
I should be swearing.
No, you're okay.
But like, I felt like I was not arrogant, I was confident.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something it's tough to really control. Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being confident.
Yeah.
Cocky.
You have to be in the tennis space.
Yeah, just a little bit of confidence in life doesn't hurt, you know?
Yeah. Well, that would have been the summer of Omar.
Yeah. Great summer.
So from there, was that the debut into the Australian Open? That from that US Open experience, then did you get a shot at the Aussie the next year?
The wild card. I think I did receive a wild card for the Australian Open that year. And I've got to fact check that, honestly, but I think...
Deal. Can we get a fact check?
I think
Omar's
2015 Australian Open. Would that be right? Because I won at 2014 US Open.
Yeah.
So 2015. Could be completely wrong here, or was it a year after? So this was like so long ago now.
Yeah. You're a little bub.
Mate, this was ages ago. No go.
It says...
God doesn't even play tennis.
US Open Junior champion Omar Jasika won't play in the Australian Open after failing at the last stage of qualifying.
Oh, playoffs. Yes, wildcard playoffs. Yes,
Okay.
sorry. Yep. So it must have been the year after.
Okay.
So I played the wildcard playoffs, didn't get a wildcard that year, but the year after I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And won a round.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, because we used to have this wildcard playoff tournament, I'm sure you know, at the end of the year, which was a tough time for all of us because it's when we really want to rest. It's like pre-season for us, but it's best of 5.
And I was going to say there's huge matches.
Yeah,
and you got to win quite a few as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and best of 5 sets, and also, but the winner does get obviously a wild card to the Australian Open, so it's tough not to play it. But yeah, it's just a bad time. They haven't had that for a few years.
So they scrapped that. What was that? Because it was too brutal?
I actually don't know what the reason was behind it, but I think it might have been. I mean, I think it was COVID as well.
Yeah.
But also because I think players were sort of complaining that it was just a bad time to have it on and best of 5 sets, and it's probably not ideal for everyone at the end of the year.
Yeah. Do you remember your 2015 after that 2014 US Open win? What happened in that next year? Because that would have been all just futures.
Yeah,
mostly futures, I'm guessing.
Yes, it was futures, and I probably think it was a few challenges, but not too many. But yeah, it was just futures trying to make that transition.
Yeah.
Which was difficult. You know, it's a pretty big jump from juniors to futures, and all those players obviously in the juniors were all transitioning as well, and everyone was getting better as well. So it was just a bit of a dogfight that whole year, and I can't remember what I finished the year at in 2015 to be honest, but yeah, that year was a bit of.
You got to be on the keys, man. Like, you got to be just ready to go. If he doesn't remember something, man, you got to be there ready to strike.
My memory is so bad though. Like, I don't remember anything.
Ranking end of 2015, Omar. Yeah. Were any key moments from that time that you remember? Just like after that helped you kind of like transition before you started to get those looks into the Aussie?
I just knew I needed to get a lot stronger and fitter because obviously when I played these futures tournaments, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
So everyone was a lot stronger than me, and obviously making that transition, these are the things I had to take into consideration. But it was just more of like a learning process for me. Like I was okay with losing and making that transition, but it was fine. I enjoyed playing higher up. And, I mean, these guys were teaching me a lesson, but I was still learning along the way.
Yeah.
Which was the main thing.
Yeah, the athleticism from the juniors to the futures, and then even again at the challenger level it's just a whole jump.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the athletes at the challenger level are so much better than the future level, and then just being a little boy trying to transition up,
exactly
like you get kind of ragdolled and manhandled a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have that deal ranking?
So end of year 2015, you were 308.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'll take that. Is that edited or?
Can't remember how I did that, but like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
2014, 555.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2015, 308.
That's unreal.
2016,
That guy's unreal.
369. So you went up a bit,
Yeah.
but then nothing until 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk us through how that first Aussie.
Took a break.
Yeah, just took a break.
Talk,
Talk
just did play.
us through that first Aussie. How did that come about? And then your experience, because you did two? No, or one? Just one?
Sorry.
Two main draw Australian
Yes.
Opens?
Yeah. So the first one, I think I won the playoff. I actually don't remember what year I won the playoff. Can you just double check that? Like, just
guy's
give the
working
laptop. Like, we'll just keep the laptop here.
This guy's working overtime.
I didn't know where to look up. I search that.
Wild card playoff.
Omar Jasika.
Yeah. Winner.
Winner. Yeah, take that.
Yeah. Sorry, Mo. It's just because everything was such a blur.
Yeah.
So I just don't know the actual.
In December, Jasika won the Australian Open wildcard playoff, earning him direct entry into the 2017.
Oh, that's a few years after.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll go to the first Australian Open.
Yeah.
First Australian Open, I won wildcard playoffs.
Yeah.
So I had a whole month to prepare for the Australian Open because you win it obviously in December and then January 15th is the Australian Open. So I had all this time to get ready and put in a pretty good training block leading up to that. And I actually, the playoff was, for me to win that, I had to beat some really good players like Chris O'Connell, JP
Yeah.
Smith in the final.
Sydney Morning Herald says rising star Omar Jasika has demolished Chris O'Connell.
Sorry, Oaks. Yeah. So I had to beat some good players to win that. I was actually, my first round against Marinko Matosevic, I was down 2 sets to love and a break. First round of the wildcard playoffs. So I honestly just thought in my head, this is done. So then I came back from 2 sets to love and I beat him in 5. So I had a lot of time on court. And then all week I just played better and better and better. And got myself a wild card. And then, like I said, had all this time to get ready to prepare. And then I remember the draw coming out a few days before, the night before. And I was watching it live and I was just like hoping not to play one of the big dogs, And then the draw, I ended up playing Ilya Marchenko.
Okay.
Yep, first round, which I didn't really know too much about him, so I thought I would get on the computer and just look at some results from him, and he just beat Ferrer the week before the Australian Open. And I was like, shit, here we go. This is going to be tough. And then the day of, I remember I was pretty nervous. Couldn't get to bed really. I was just so amped to get out and play. And I remember the day of, I warmed up. Warm up was fine. And then finally it was time to get out on court. And they put me on court 7 or 8, which was a small court, but a big stand. There could be a few people. And I remember having my headphones in and walking onto court, and the people were so loud cheering that I couldn't even hear the music. I was and my legs didn't want to walk. I had to tell myself left, right, just relax. It's all good. They're all here for you. Enjoy this moment, This is what you've worked for, and this is but it's just so tough. You've got so many emotions, my heart was racing, and I was like, oh my God. And then stepped out on court, and Ilya Marchenko was looking at me like this. He's this pretty big guy. He was like, this guy looks like he's going to eat me, And then we started, and I started off pretty nervous, but by the time I got into the match, it was actually the crowd was obviously on my side, which helped so much. And then I won in 4 sets. I won in 4 sets that match, and that was just a game changer. That was just one of the best moments of my life, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember how that match played out?
Yeah, well, I don't remember the scores. No idea. But I just sort of was riding the wave.
It would have been heaps of adrenaline.
Yeah, so much adrenaline, and I was just riding the wave, and the crowd was just helping so much, and just it was just so enjoyable to be out there, and I was loving life. But these are the moments you actually work for, and where you want to be. It's just So much fun.
100%. That's sick. And then after you had a huge match, right?
Yep, and then
That's biggest match of your career?
Yep, and then after that, so you obviously get a day off.
Yeah.
And then I was playing Joe Wilfred Songa.
Amazing.
Yeah, so, and they put me on, I don't know if it was Kia Arena or one of the big show courts.
Yeah. Margaret.
Margaret Court, there you go, Margaret Court. And that's when I was just like, walking out on court there, I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, so nervous because like I'm walking on with my bag and I'm looking around and I'm like, whoa, like, is this like really me? Like, this is me, I'm doing this.
Would have been a real coming of age moment. You were like, wow,
yeah.
like I'm not a little boy and this is real. I'm not dreaming and this is
felt so surreal.
everything I've worked for.
So surreal. It was just, yeah. But it was just, you just feel proud of yourself, you know? It's like, you're proud of yourself and it's an amazing feeling. And whatever the outcome was just an amazing week for me. And just having all my friends and family come down and support and then seeing them happy, and it was just like amazing. Words can't really describe how I felt that day, but yeah. And I actually didn't even play that bad because I was super relaxed and loose.
Yeah,
because
nothing to lose.
I think he was top 10 at the time, and I had nothing to lose, and like, yeah, just it's been a good week, and you know, just enjoy it. Literally enjoy it.
Yeah, refreshing.
Yeah.
Nice perspective to have in a match like that. Crazy. And then you had one more with a big dog. That was the following year. 2018?
Yes.
Yeah.
Australian Open?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then the year after, I got a wild card into the Australian Open. I think it was another wild card, pretty sure. Or the playoffs, because I'm not sure if the playoffs were on that year. I can't remember, man. My memory's so bad. Anyway, so yeah, I got a wild card, and then waiting for the draw again. I just love waiting for the live draw to come out, and David Ferrer came up. Omar Jasika versus David Ferrer. And I was like, wow, that's like one guy you do not want to play, you know, because
Animal.
seriously, like this guy
Scary,
is obviously,
scary
yeah,
animal.
like unbelievable athlete. And yeah, I wasn't really too keen to play him, and I remember they put us on Kia Arena. I'm pretty sure it was Kia Arena. Surely I put that one right. Has to be.
Is that John Cain?
Yeah,
John Cain, Kia Arena? No, it's a different one.
I think different. John Cain is the big court though.
Yeah, so they had the buggies out ready to call us out to court, and I remember he had his headphones on, and this guy had like 15 coffees. He was like so amped, like just like dancing around, yeah. And I'm like sitting on the back of the buggy. I'm just like, shit, this is gonna be like tough to beat. And I was just like so happy to be there, and like I knew this guy's, you know, David Frey. He's been on the tour for so long, one of the oldest players, but he's still one of the fittest players on tour. So I knew it was going to be tough, but like I told myself, I'm just going to go out there and enjoy. And this one was probably one of the toughest matches I played. Because just like from point one, I knew this guy was not going to go away, and it was just so tough for me to beat him. I'm pretty sure he snipped me. Yeah, he demolished me. So that was the end of that, and it was back to the drawing board for me.
Yeah. So after that, you had a bit of a break from tennis. Like would have just been like a combination of just so much pressure and just events and things happening. How did you handle that sort of break? And what was that like? Did you have some really heavy reflection period? Did it make you think about what you wanted for your life? And how did you maybe start that journey again, coming back to tennis?
It was nice to take a little break. But yeah, like I think honestly, with tennis, because it's like we have this conversation all the time, like that there's no off season in tennis, so you're constantly all year round playing. Like sometimes you do need that little break. It's
like Ferrer with 15 coffees, man.
Yeah,
it's just non-stop, man.
Seriously, that guy needs a break. That guy, but he actually I think when he was a bit younger, he stopped playing tennis for a little bit and started working with his dad or something. I think there was like
just imagine him concreting with his dad.
Yeah. Seriously, that guy is a concrete. And yeah, but I took a little break, and then just really stepped away from the game, and it was just nice to have a little bit of a freshen up. And I have this conversation with people all the time saying that sometimes it's okay to take a little break, as long as you're still keeping fit and still in the tennis world. But yeah, I honestly enjoyed my time off, and it was nice to come back and be fresh. And I mean, these guys have all been still grinding. So like seeing everyone just so disheveled and just like still grinding is just like crazy. But yeah, I've just come in as this like fresh kid, so I'm like full of life now, full of energy and ready to keep grinding.
It's kept that spark alive for you.
Yeah,
Whereas maybe
absolutely.
you think some of these other guys that have just kept grinding, they just look like they have been grinding and then they're
Yeah.
tired and they're maybe a little bit bitter and
Yeah,
just...
yeah, because like all the flying and stuff, it's not easy, you know, every week, and they've obviously haven't taken a break. They haven't taken a break at all, so they've just been playing. And obviously, when you do something for so much and for so long, it gets a little bit boring, and you know, you lose motivation. So, but each to their own, you know. I wouldn't change my break at all. I mean, everything happens for a reason, I think.
Yeah,
and
100%. Yeah, well, do you think that happened for you to have that time off? To
I
really...
think so. Yeah.
You feel like you really need it and almost like saved you in a way?
Yeah, 100%. I think so.
Otherwise, maybe you could have like gone down a bit of a path where you burnt out and really got maybe quite bitter with the game in a way.
Yeah, I agree for sure. That's what I think. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's so tough to be on, and almost like you didn't have a childhood because tennis was your
Exactly
childhood,
right,
and then
yeah.
that was almost like an opportunity for you to enjoy your childhood
Yeah.
that you missed in a way.
Seriously, yeah.
Just to have a good time and hang out with your mates and just catch up, almost have like a bit more of a normal life.
Yeah.
'Cause tennis players don't have normal lives.
Yeah.
It's everyone's a bit of a weirdo in
Yeah.
any way. There's not many normal people on the tour.
I agree. Yeah. Everyone, everyone keeps to themselves and everyone keeps to themselves. But yeah, once you step away from the game, you realize that tennis is like, it's pretty full on, you know. There's it's pretty like depressing. I don't know. I find it heavy. Like tennis players are pretty heavy and all that stuff. It's just like, because they've obviously got so much going on and money, financial issues, and like they've got to support their coach and their girlfriends and all that stuff. And obviously they've got, tennis is everything. So if they're not doing well, then they obviously get pretty depressed. But yeah, once you step away from the game, it's like this like weight off your shoulders a little bit. But yeah, I think tennis players just need to understand that there is more to life than just smacking a tennis ball over the net. You know,
100%. That's what I've liked talking to Callum, Dane, and yourself this week. Is I feel like you guys get that, and you're pushing and you're grinding and you're really working towards your goals and your dreams, but you're not taking it so seriously and just so full on in that journey where you can't enjoy yourselves and just be genuine and unique in your own way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of tennis players struggle with that. How have you found that balance? Is it just not taking it so seriously from coming back? Like, how have you kept kind of that spark, that kind of that little kid energy where you're funny, you're taking the piss a little bit, but you're also training hard and really like working as well at the same time?
Well, I was actually really fortunate last year to have my girlfriend Hannah travel with me, and over the years when I was on tour, it was just hotel courts. So never really going to a country. It was just hotel courts when there's all this stuff going around, you know. I never really ventured out and wanted to go check out stuff because just didn't really know how to do it, you know. But having my girlfriend there last year was actually so awesome because she would want to go see all these things, and obviously I'd go with her, and it was just nice to take my mind off the tennis court. So it was just a good balance.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Hannah hates the balance, but yeah, it was actually super. It was, like I said, like it's just so nice to step away from just the tennis court and actually go venture out. And there's so many cool things to see around the world, you know, when you travel. And I think tennis players don't get the opportunity because they're just so zoned in and locked in. But sometimes you need to just venture out and take a day off and just go sightsee and do all those things.
Taking time off after you finish practice or your match, I feel like you can actually elevate your performance a lot.
Yeah.
So easy to get stuck in that bubble that like I need to just like be here and I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
I feel like that can actually help you relax, and because everyone knows how to hit a ball. You just, I feel like, need to be relaxed and in the right mindset to allow that to happen almost in a way. Was there any like amazing places that you remember that you've loved kind of seeing?
Yeah, I thought Greece.
I was going to say Crete. Crete looked nuts from what I was seeing.
Yeah, Greece was one of my favorite places. Just the culture, like how they live and the food, and just everyone's so happy and vibrant, and it's just good energy to be around, you know. And Obviously the weather was good when we were there, so it made things even better. But yeah, just like the people are just so welcoming and friendly, and one of my favorite places was Greece. Yeah, even Portugal was awesome. Just like Europe is awesome in that way. Just like how people live with such little money.
But so happy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just amazing.
Very simple, kind of village
so
mentality in a
simple.
way.
So simple.
Yeah, business partner Theo is from Greece and goes back a fair bit and has just been to all the islands and talks so highly about just like this spot here and this spot here and just the Greek culture in general and how loving they are and how warm they are, and just like there's a smile on their face. They just like embrace life and they want to kind of get around you and have a good time and just show love. It seems like a very loving place.
Yeah, 100%. It's not, no, like obviously people are stressed, but you don't see it on people's faces. They sort of hide it, and everyone's just super happy. Like in Australia, I feel like people are more stressed and like just a bit more, like on edge compared to Europe. But yeah, it's awesome. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah, amazing. How is it having Hannah and having someone in your life like that? How has she really transformed and helped your tennis and having someone there? And how is it even having a girlfriend on the tour? Because that would be brutal.
Yeah. No, she's helped me get to where I am today. I wouldn't be here without her. But yeah, having her last year was so awesome. She did about 4 or 5 months with me, which was unbelievable. That was my first year back on tour. So I wasn't really sure how I was going to go, but I honestly had one of my best years last year throughout in my whole career. And just having her there was so nice because, like I said, it was nice to focus on business, but also pleasure at the same time outside the tennis court. And just having her was awesome.
Memories that you guys will never forget.
Are you asking me what memories? Or
no, as in memories you'll never forget from that experience.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
How do you manage that though? Like being on the road, having her, but then not having her, managing kind of like just random phone calls, different time zones. Yeah. It would be tough, man.
It is tough. I mean, like everyone, I think every athlete that's got a partner back home, it obviously knows how hard it is, but you got to see the bigger picture. It's like short-term pain, long-term gain, So if you can just try and stick it through, there's obviously going to be hard days. Life would be boring if it was just easy days, So I think, you just gotta manage. Obviously the time zones are so hard in Europe and America. So you just gotta make time and make these little sacrifices. And I mean, it's just, hopefully you guys see the bigger picture and you work together. I mean, that's what a whole relationship is, just working together and keep it strong. Yeah.
That seems like the only way, that if you don't kind of talk about the bigger picture,
absolutely,
then know that, I just got to do this now for us. And it's just part of the job and I don't really have a choice, but like, this is where we're going together, and just having those open, robust conversations all the time would just keep it alive. Otherwise, if you're not having that, then people would be like, pushing the fuck it button, going, what's the point here? I'm not sticking around. Like, I don't see any longevity here.
Yeah. Which is tough, obviously, but you just got to... It's all you can really do is just keep pushing through and just communicating. I think communication is one of the biggest things in life and in a relationship. I think it's the biggest thing for sure. So if you guys have good communication and trust, then you guys will go a long way for sure.
Did you know much about tennis before?
Did she?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot, not too much. So she was coming into a new world a little bit.
What does she think about it? Because that would have been a steep learning curve for her, because learning about what goes on in the tennis world, if you don't know it, is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, well, obviously for her, it was just like you said, mind-blowing. But also, she loves being around like athletes and just seeing like everyone's goals and determination. It's like, it's motivating, And having her at the AO this year and just seeing all the big players and how they act and go about their day, it's just like, it's so nice for her to see what goes into a life of a tennis player. I think it's awesome for everyone, when you're actually around that. Like you said this week, it's just good to see everyone's focus and how people go about their days. Just to, there's a few top 100 players here in the tournament, which is awesome for us to see. And I think it helps everyone that's not ranked there to see what it takes and all those things for sure.
100%, man. I want to talk a little bit more about just some key memories, some matches. Are there any kind of turning points in your career with some matches or some moments or times where you feel like, you're starting to shift to a new level, where you start to really break through something mentally? Is there anything kind of stand out in those areas?
I think over the years, I think I wouldn't say mastered my game, but I've developed a better mentality for myself on the court. I think when I was a bit younger, I wasn't really thinking too much on court, because tennis is such a mental sport that I've only just started realizing that in the last few years. And I think when I was a bit younger, I wasn't all there with my thinking. But yeah, tennis, when you step on a tennis court, there's so many different things that can go through your head, but just trying to channel in on court and into the match, and just try and block out as many things as you can. I've really started to do that a lot better, and actually enjoyed the process of being in a match and just trying to work out. It's like a chess game, You try and work out your opponent and what they do, and you got to be the best player you can as well. So I think over the years I've gotten a lot better at that. And I think now going into next year, it's just been getting better and better. So I'm happy with the way I've been going lately, and I think I've really channeled in my inner thoughts for sure.
For sure. Is anything that helped you with that, or is it just like a natural maturing process?
I probably would say maturing.
Yeah.
I think everyone matures at different ages. But yeah, I would say mature for sure.
When you're playing your best, how are you playing? Like when Omar's just flying, how would you describe him in his matches and his form? Just
super loose, and probably I've got a bit of hop in my step. I don't know. Just when I feel pretty confident after I've won a few matches, or I think I just play super loose and everything's going well, and I know that. I don't know. I actually don't know.
But like you're not a big guy, so like how you find different ways to win points if you're not having like these big crushing forehands like some of these guys at like 6'5", for example. Do you have to be more creative? Like, are you coming to the net? Are you really trying to bring in some slice and some drop shot, craft a bit more?
Yeah, because I'm left-handed. So I think a lot of guys don't like playing left-handers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can try and make the match as awkward as possible for them, they will hate that. And yeah, I mean, because I'm not a big guy, so I try to do the best with what I've got and my tools. With every player, every player's got their own set of tools, and they try and work out what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And once you master that, I think you can be a good player. But yeah, for me, I think it's just like using what I have, my lefty slider, and my hands. I can come in, and I play pretty quick, I would say. Rush players, take away time from them, and
a little bit more like close to the baseline, taking the ball early, trying to like counter punch a bit more.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's all mental as well. It's just sticking in there and being fit. There's no really secrets. To being good. It's a lot of hours on court, and
Because with your game style, you'd have to be super fit.
Yeah, for sure.
And try to outwork.
Exactly.
And similar to Dane as well. Like you guys got to be super fit.
Absolutely, super fast, and just obviously anticipate probably a little bit better than these bigger guys, because they don't have to move that much because they're so big, their steps are big. But probably anticipation has to be pretty big.
Are there any areas of your game that you're trying to get better, that you go like, no, I want to really lock in and doing this better in the next kind of like year to elevate or make tweaks to get
I think there's always room for improvement. Little tweaks, probably just developing a bigger game, I think, and trying to get more free points on my serve and using my legs. Could get a bit stronger. I mean, there's always little tweaks that you can do in your game.
It's all 1%ers now.
Hey? Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing really massive you can change at this point.
I think everyone's pretty similar in the levels, like you said earlier. There's not much from challengers to the ATP. Obviously, it's like the 1%ers, but the game is relatively pretty similar. Everyone's good these days. Everyone's strong and everyone's fit. So yeah, the game's just gotten better over the last few years for sure. Like it's crazy how good people are.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone's training better. Everyone's training smarter, using technology better. Better coaching. It's all ramping up.
Yeah.
Were there any big matches this year like that stand out? For maybe good ones, bad ones?
This year's been a bit of a tough year for me. Not the best year. I mean, last year it's tough to top last year's off because I won quite a few tournaments, but this year was definitely a learning curve for me. I've learned a lot about myself and in my game, and I'm going to take that all into 2024 for sure. So
in what way? What have you kind of?
I just think the mental side of things and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. I'm doing the small things better now, as in pre-match, after-match.
Taking that a bit more seriously, whereas maybe before not as much.
Absolutely, yep. Just obviously being around these guys have made me realise what it actually takes. Because I've been around this level a bit more now, and seeing all the big players. Because I was in Shanghai a few weeks ago in the Masters. I got into the Masters. I was very, very fortunate to play that and just see the level that goes on there, and the people. They've got their own teams, and just like what goes into making to the top level is insane.
Mm-hmm. What do you think works for you quite clearly, and what do you think doesn't work for you?
Yeah, I think just being relaxed for me and trying to enjoy. I think when I'm too tense and I think about it too much, it never really goes my way and I can't enjoy myself. I think when I'm relaxed and I tell myself everything will be okay regardless of win or lose, like it's a long year, and I think people don't realise that in tennis, you lose every week. You know, you've got to be a good loser, which is hard for some people. Like you lose, 80-90% of the time, you know, as a tennis player. So you've got to be okay with losing every week. You know, you can't win every tournament. But as long as you're consistent, I think, and you win a few matches each tournament, I think that's what you should really be focusing on, you know. I mean, unless you're Alcaraz and Djokovic and winning every second tournament. But like this level, you know, it's just like you've got to be a good loser, unfortunately.
Yeah, really humbling in that way.
It's the truth, you know.
Yeah, and people don't realise that you're losing. It's only one winner in one tournament every week, and
one winner.
Yeah, and you can lose back-to-back tournaments week after week, and you're travelling from country to country, and that's tough, man.
Yeah, like I was in Europe this year and lost for 5 first rounds in a row, and that's when
you start asking some big questions, man.
And you start to try and change some stuff in your game when you shouldn't be changing because you think you're not, but it's just the players are good and you've had a bad match. And I was like, they were all 3-setters. So I was just losing, and I was trying to change too much by the 6th week, and I just lost my mind, you know. I was like, don't want to be here, and it's just got to keep pushing. It will change.
So easy to go down that rabbit hole, man.
It is
like
tough.
Once you lose a few in a row, because you might not even be doing, like you said, like playing bad, but you just feel like you need to change something where it's like, no, I just need to keep going, and just make little tweaks, and then maybe take a couple key opportunities that come my way in some moments, and be a bit braver, and just back myself in on some of those moments rather than maybe
because
play
when you
really
lose,
cautious.
like if you lose first round, you've got a whole week to wait, which is so annoying. It's so many days, you know, because obviously we train our whole life and we want to play. So when we have to train again, it's just like so annoying. And then like losing first round, then you got a week. Losing first round, you got a week. Like it's just
too much thinking time.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly right. And like obviously the money situation, you're not making that much money, so then you've got to spend money on hotels, and it's just like you said, it can go down a really bad path. But that's when it's good to have someone to travel with you, so you can take your mind off things and have a friend to travel. But if you're by yourself, like I was this year, not many Aussies there either. It was just.
But that's the financial side, man. Like it's expensive to travel with someone, and it's hard. And then they got to sacrifice almost like their time and what they're doing with their life to go with you. Yeah. Like for Hannah, for example, like
she's got to stop her life.
Yeah, she's working, man. Exactly. It's tough. She can't just drop everything all the time unless like she has a job that it allows you to be on the road. But finding that's tough as well at the same time. So how are you going with the financial side, man? Like, how is it? You've pretty much been at Challenger level all year, right?
Yeah.
And played maybe just a couple futures.
Yeah.
How is it now at the Challenger level? Can you get by at that level? What's the kind of financial structure for you at this level?
This year has probably been a bit better because I think they've upped the prize money in the challenges. So the money is actually pretty decent to win the whole thing. I think it's like, I mean, it all varies, but like to win a challenge now, it's probably like $25,000-$30,000 Australian dollars.
Yep.
But like, let's say if you were to lose first.
Sorry, buddy, just context for the Playford.
Yeah.
Playford, the prize money is $10,800.
US.
Oh, is that US?
Yeah.
So it's not
US.
Okay, so it's never an Australian.
No.
Okay.
It's
okay,
US,
cool.
USD. So whatever that is will probably be what?
Like 50. maybe
15, 16
version.
I don't know what it is.
10,800 to US.
10,000 USD.
Is that pretty standard? Like
well,
that?
because I think it's 75.
Okay.
Yep. So it's 75, and there's obviously different levels. There's 50, 75.
17 grand.
Okay.
17,000 Aussie. Yeah. So yeah, this obviously to win this week is 17,000 Aussie dollars. But as the level goes high, obviously more money and more money. But yeah, to answer your question, probably it's been okay. Probably just getting by. Definitely not in a position where I would say I was profiting. Yeah, won't be buying a Lamborghini this year, but maybe next year.
Maybe next year, brother.
Yeah.
Do you think the structure needs to change? Like,
yes and no. I'd probably say they could probably add a bit more prize money. I mean, the top level is the money needs to get pushed down a little bit, I think, because I've had this conversation with multiple people about, you probably know where I'm going with this, just like 230 ranked Australian tennis player compared to hockey player, AFL player, like
The amount of conversations we've had like this.
it's just like, I'd be on such a good contract if I played AFL.
That Lamborghini would be in your driveway for sure.
I'd have two.
In different colours, all of it.
It's just, and play less weeks, you know, I can spend more time with family. I can create it's just, it's just tough in that way. I don't know. Don't know if I chose the wrong sport or.
Dude, you're playing 11 months of the year. You don't see your friends and your family, and you have no Lamborghini. And if you're if you're an NFL athlete, you play what, like 4 months, five months,
Something like that. I don't know.
and you're a multi-millionaire, and you have so much time
like,
off.
who would be the 270th ranked NFL player, do you think? Or basketball player?
Who knows? But you're still earning so much money.
It's just, and they stay in the States, you know, they're playing at home. Like, we have to travel away from home. Like, us Aussies have to be away from home for 6-7 months, like you said. Sorry, 6-7 months. Just no words. No words.
No words. Good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, doing well, buddy. Yeah, brutal, man. So, yeah, moving forward here, what's kind of like the plan after these tournaments, like leading into next year? What have you got your kind of like eyes on? Are you a chance for Aussie Open?
So the plan for me is now I'm going to Sydney, flying to Sydney today, and then I will go to Japan for a few more weeks to finish off the season. Try and finish. I would love to finish ideally inside 200. So I've got about 5 weeks left, 5 tournaments.
Yeah.
Which is very doable.
How do you go about that without putting pressure? Like, I need to be inside the 200, because that's a fine balance.
Yeah, I think now I've sort of just accepted the fact that this year's almost finished, and sort of been okay with whatever happens this year. We'll go into next year with, obviously it's such a big year next year, so you've got time to improve, and I've just told myself that it's okay, whatever happens, just go out and enjoy myself, and I'll just enjoy myself and then play these 5 weeks and take some time off, spend some time with family and friends and my girlfriend, and just get ready for next year. I'm not sure if I'm a chance for AO. I'm just going to have to prove myself in the next few weeks, and just, that's all I can really do, you know. Oops. But yeah, hoping to have a pretty good 2024. That's all you can really do, and just get ready and enjoy. Yeah.
And how's the body feeling as an athlete? Where are you at with your body? You still feeling like you're just like getting better and better and stepping into your prime as an athlete?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I think I've never had really any big injuries. I'm pretty happy with the way my body has been going. Like I said, no injuries, which has really taken me out of the game for too long. Just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and just keep trying to enjoy it, for sure.
Yeah, nice. Do you do more gym workouts? Are you trying to get more into the gym while you're playing on tour, just to kind of like get your athleticism going to a new level?
Yeah, so I've got my program now. So I'm based in Brizzy now, and I'm working with the guys in Brizzy, and I tap into Melbourne because I'm originally from Melbourne. So whenever I go to Melbourne, I've got people in Melbourne as well, which is super helpful for me, and they look after my body pretty well. So I think that's just, as you get older, obviously, there's more things that go into your program, injury prevention stuff. So you just got to keep on top of those things, and I just tell myself it's only an hour of the day
Yeah.
to keep the body going, you know.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think the game now has changed where you can play until you're like 35, 36, you know. So as long as you can keep your body in check and in shape, I think you can keep going for a long time.
Absolutely. On the road, are you doing some gym and trying to keep that going?
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
That would be hard, man.
Yeah. But as long as you've got these little programs that don't require too many, because you can do body weight stuff and have bands you travel with and all that stuff that keep your body in check. But sometimes, like I said, like it's tough to find. Like these gyms in Europe aren't the best sometimes. So you got to work with what you've got at the end of the day. But you can always do stuff in your hotel room that will keep you, you know, fit and little exercises for sure.
There's always a way.
Absolutely.
Got to find a way as a tennis
Yep,
player.
for
That
sure.
grind is real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any ultimate goals? Obviously, like there's some key ones in my mind that would stand out, but like, where is your mind at of where you want, where you would like maybe the next couple of years to go?
Yeah, I would like to break into the top 100 next year. I'm 27 next year, so I think 27's always been my favorite number. Not sure why, so I'm just going to stick with that and hoping something good comes out of it. But yeah, I would ideally like to make a living for myself next year and hopefully have a few more sponsors under my belt and yeah, maybe that Lamborghini would be nice at the end of next year. But yeah, no, just would like to break into the top 100 and seeing so many Aussies now break into the top 100 has been pretty inspiring for us Aussie tennis players and our Aussie future. So it's good to see that it's very possible just to put your head down and work for a whole year. You can definitely get there. But yeah.
Then the momentum starts to like roll.
Absolutely,
Like
for sure.
you get some sponsors, you start to get some better results, you get some more money coming in, then like you can actually make more moves. You can get a coach traveling with you, you can get maybe Hannah traveling with you more, you can get access to more people, more things, and it just
Absolutely.
becomes easier.
Exactly. Once you get the ball rolling, for sure, you've just got to be consistent. I feel like you've just got to play. Got to tell yourself it's just 1 year. Just put your head down and just knuckle down. You know, it's what it takes. It's just putting your head down, and all these Aussies have done that. Like Rinky, Rinky's just had an unbelievable year. You know, he's put his head down, and he's always been such a workhorse. And Koobs as well, and Oaks. You know, you don't see much of these guys because they're just so locked in and focused. But that's what it takes. You know. To get to where they are now, it's just amazing and truly inspirational.
Yeah, it shows the proof there. Like you see it, you see what they're,
Yeah, exactly.
and then they actually get those results and it checks out.
Yeah,
You're
but like behind the scenes, like Oaks, like is just such a workhorse. You know, goes to dinner by himself, but just like super focused and you know, just day in day out.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because he had that third round. Was the third round of the US where he got to set off Medvedev.
Yeah.
And then I see the next day he's in China and he's the number one seed for a challenger.
Yeah.
And playing a challenger 2 days later when it's like you don't need to play a challenger. You just
Absolutely.
earned so much money in the US and had almost like career high ranking.
Yeah.
And he's just gone to a challenger. It's like, these
Yeah.
guys are nuts, man.
It's crazy. Yeah, like the flight's not easy either. You know, it's like overnight flight. You know, so it's just like crazy to see. But yeah, he just wants to keep going and he's in a good routine. So it's just good to see. But also helps us seeing all that stuff. You know. So obviously, yeah, credit to him, unbelievable guy, and yeah, just truly a workhorse. And congrats to all these guys that have broken to the top 100 this year. You know, it's what you work for sure.
No, that's good perspective from you, man, and just mad respect to all these guys. And it's good to see you guys all like motivating each other and wanting the best for each other. And I think Australian tennis and Australian tennis culture is in a good place and going to a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not like we need to like spend every day with these guys, but like a few messages. Everyone shoots each other messages, you know, good job when you win a tournament or you do well. It's just, that goes a long way. Just like one little message, you know?
100%.
So yeah, for sure.
We love to see it, man.
Absolutely.
Mad respect, bro. Appreciate you coming down. Love what you're about. I love that you just keep it funny, keep it chill, but also get to work. You're not so serious. You're an absolute clown. It's hilarious to be around you, bro. You're like a breath of fresh air in this space because there's so many robots, let's say, that are somewhat on the spectrum in the tennis space that it's hard to have just normal light banter with some of these guys. And
if I was to say one thing, there's a lot of worse things to be in the world, you know, and there's a lot of shit going on in the world, and I think that there's, being down a break point is actually not that bad compared to what is going on in the world. So,
I mean, completely agree, man. 100%. That's factual information, and yeah, you live that. And I think a lot of people could take something from that, because people take it so seriously and maybe can't see outside of their little bubble sometimes.
Sure.
So, mad respect. And yeah, we just wish you all the best, man.
Thank you,
Want to see you
appreciate
do
it.
well, and
Thank you.
we're always like rooting for you. And yeah, just want to see you just get to those goals that you want to get to, and take me for a spin in that Lambo, brother.
Absolutely, will do.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming down
Appreciate
today.
it. Thank you.